To be honest with you, started having a rough morning, and I didn't know what I was going to do a video about. And all of a sudden, the sun is shining in through the camera, but it's okay. We'll just deal with it. Um, didn't know what I was going to talk about, and I received an email, and it was about someone's credit score. You know, on this channel, I'm talking about crushing it, identifying bad times that are currently happening, and then times that are going to get worse in the future, so that you could take advantage of this and not be sitting on the sidelines or be a victim of it. And so I've talked about specific investments, and they've all been crushing it, and people are doing great, um, as those investments sky higher than the stock market, meaning the stock market is actually losing. Uh, we have to remember those of us, because every single one of us, or most of us, came from nothing. Type he's talking about me, because I'm someone that came from nothing. And when I mean nothing, I had a roof over my head, food in my stomach. My parents took care of me. They were both uh, uh, parents that worked jobs, doing everything they could for me. But when it came to higher education, they didn't know how they were going to pay for it. They were going to try their hardest, but they didn't know. They didn't have a silver spoon in their mouth, and I didn't have one in mine. And so I had to make my own way, right? And so I've went through these ups and downs of credit scores and debt levels, and having something and having nothing, right? And then one day I just decided no more. I started reading books on financial education. I dug myself out of that hole the hard way. I did it by myself, and to be honest with you, I'm very proud of that. There is a good type of pride to have, and that's the good type, that you made it on your own, right? Well, there are people that watch these videos, and they're like, Ninja, I know it sounds great. You're buying XRP and Bitcoin and all this stuff. And, I don't have any money. Well, the truth is, it all comes in our perception, right? If we've got money for a Starbucks coffee, we've got money to buy $5 worth of Bitcoin. That's just it. But a lot of people don't have what it takes to believe in themselves. And that's why I started the financial education, because I was doing mentoring, and it was, to be honest with you, it was slowly killing me. It was just so much a drain on me. And so I've got two stories to talk to you about. And then I have something very important to share with you from someone that emailed me. And to be honest with you, just made my day. His name's Randy. And I thank you for this comment. So our country is drowning in debt, and our credit scores are suffering badly. And there's some fundamentals of money you need to understand. First off, you need to be out of debt in your personal life. All right. Be out of debt. If you can't afford a fancy car, don't drive a fancy car. Drive a piece of junk. I drove what was it, a 2000 Volkswagen Jetta that the paint was peeling off for like 7 years. As I was a firefighter, making six figures a year, you guys would make fun of me, saying it was, a driving washing machine, or that's what it sounded like going down the road. My wife was too embarrassed to drive in it. And I did it to save money, right? And when you're out of debt in your personal life, then you can go and take on debt in entities, start a side hustle, turn that into a business, turn that into a corporation, and then use those entities to take out debt, and to use other people's money to make money. And you're just the manager of it. You're the CEO, you're the business owner. That's how you become super wealthy. And you could do it in all kinds of different things. I mean, shoot, I was flipping stuff on eBay and making tens of thousands a year. Then I was flipping palm trees, making, tens and tens of thousands. Then I started tractors and trailers, and I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And these cycles just get bigger and bigger, right? But you've got to be, at your core, you've got to be out of debt. You've got to have a good credit score. Do me a favor and just be honest, because nobody here knows who you are. Most people don't even have their names on their things. But if you're in debt and you want to be out of debt, just say, I want to be out of debt. And if you want a higher credit score, just say, I want a higher credit score. You need to say it out loud, type it down, put it in writing, put it out to the world. And I'm telling you, as you say that more and more, it's going to come back. You're going to start to find the avenues that will get you to that place. Because I'm telling you, if you are in debt right now and you have a low credit score, you are going to miss out on the greatest wealth transfer on earth. And I'm sorry, some white knight is not going to drop it in your lap from out of the sky and saying, yeah, about 300 years ago, we figured we could save money for you because of all your bad decisions. That's not going to happen. And when you get to that moment in life and you realize that, and you're like, nope, you know what? Life is what I make of it. Every morning, the ninja's got to wake up and make a decision. And this morning, honestly, it was a bad morning. So let me share these two stories with you. First off, credit scores. Credit score hangover is hitting America's riskiest borrowers. When we talk about a housing crash, I can't stop what's happening. These are the people that are going to cause it because they're going to lose their homes because they got too far into debt. End of story. Okay. The people that are buying up homes right now, the very, very few, they're the, and I say this, they're the dumbest money out there because they're not educated. They don't understand real estate cycles. They have this FOMO and they always buy at the top, whether it be the top of a stock market cycle, crypto cycle, real estate cycle, any kind of cycle. They're the ones that were the ones you were pushing like family members, like, do something, do something. This is the time to act. And they're mocking you and they're saying, no, that's for you. All you want to do is be rich. And at the very end, they buy and then they lose it. Okay. This is the truth. You can't change the truth about life. It says here, they talk about a personal story, right? It says here, Americans' credit scores skyrocketed during the pandemic in an unexpected benefit of the upheaval. Millions are now nursing the financial hangover. And this story is out of the Wall Street Journal. Higher prices and borrowing costs are hurting some of the same consumers whose credit scores were most inflated by an expanded COVID-era safety net. This is exactly what happened in the Roaring 20s after the Depression of 1920, a sharp, quick depression, like what happened in the spring of 2020, and then an expansion of credit, like what happened after that. And this is exactly following a 100-year cycle, something that happened in 1918 called the Spanish flu. You can't make this crap up, okay? Like Solomon says in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun. The sun rises, the sun sets. He's talking about cycles, big cycles. It says here, while the share of Americans seen as risky borrowers have dropped, according to credit score firm FICO, the credit scores of its so-called non-prime group have fallen sharply since last year. Look, I'm also going to put an end of the year sale. If you want to get out of debt, a bundle price for the Credit Score Pro and the Dominate Debt course. And I'm going to share with you what someone said about it, okay? Because this is why I'm doing this. People fell behind on credit card bills and car payments more often in 2024 than any other point since the aftermath of the Great Recession. So, I've been telling you about a banking crash. I already called the first cycle the banking crash in 2022. It happened in 2023. And I said, that was your Bear Stearns moment. Now you're going to have the Lehman Brothers moment. And that's coming right after the new president starts. All right. The old administration has been lying through its teeth. As a matter of fact, he says he hasn't been doing any business with China. They're uncovering all these photos with the president and all these Chinese businessmen and all the money, the government money, your money that went to Hunter, his son. It's absolutely insane, right? Well, now think about this. As all of these people, it says here, people fell behind on credit card bills and car payments more often in 2024 than any point since the aftermath of the Great Recession, meaning what is hitting the banks right now, non-payments of credit card bills and car payments is as bad. It hasn't been this bad since the Great Recession. So you're going to see banks failing in 2025. I know that sounds crazy, but it's going to happen. So check this story out. This is another story. And it says here out of CNBC, credit card debt set to hit record levels as consumer holiday spending rises. It says consumers now on track to set a spending record this month, according to forecasts. You see, what's happening is there are a lot of people that feel that because the new administration's coming in and all this big red wave, that they can just spend like crazy, that everything's going to be great. But it's actually not true. See, I don't care who the president is, you still got to pay your bills. And if you don't, your credit score gets dinged. And you need your credit score now for everything, including applying for an apartment to rent. I once paid cash for a Lexus because I'm not joking. I save up. That's what I did when I was younger. As I was driving that beater, what's it called? I saved up for a 5-year-old Lexus, went to a Toyota dealership, brought in $100 bills. It was $20,000. And they still ran my credit. And they said, there's no way out of it. We still have to run your credit. Absolutely insanity. But you know what? That's the world we live in. And there's so many people that go, I don't need a credit score. I don't need a credit score. It's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Do you want to be wealthy or do you want to be rich? Rich is different than wealthy, but do you want to at least be rich? Do you want to be in the moment where you're like, hey, I could take that week off and go wherever I want? You're going to need a good credit score. Okay. You're going to need to be out of debt in your personal household. You take care of your home first, your household first, and then you expand your horizons through businesses and side hustles, and it'll blow your mind what's available to you. You know, some people side hustle. I've taught people how to start an LLC just to put all their crypto into it and how to put their stocks into it, and that become its own business, which actually gives specific write-offs to that business. Most people don't even understand how that works, but they sit there and they go, "Well, I own some stocks. I got a TD Ameritrade account." I'm like, why don't you run an investment company? People don't know how to do that, and they don't know what they're missing out on. It says here, people are leaning on credit cards to purchase gifts that will come at a high cost if those balances aren't paid off quickly, experts say. And interest rates are going up. Now, this is the comment that I received today, and this made my day, honestly. This is from Randy, and I'm gonna cover it all up. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. It's a real email. um, it says, "Thank you, Ninja. I had always wondered why my credit score wasn't getting above 700." And a lot of people would say, "Hey, that's good credit. 700." Um, says, "I always carried no balances on my cards, paid off mortgages and vehicles with no positive results." He said, "I watched your credit course many months ago when it was released, froze myself at the credit agencies and raised my credit card limits. I had gone from 90% of my credit card limits," what means he was putting 90% on and paying them off, right, "to under 30% usage, and my experience score is now at an 838. He says, "I'm eager to pick up a rental property in the future." So what Randy is explaining is one of the things I teach in the Credit Score Pro course. And that is, if you will, instead of having, let's say there are people out there that think they've got great credit. I know it sounds crazy. They use a credit card, they pay it off every month. Um, I know it sounds crazy. You're not getting the true benefit, as opposed to if you opened up 3 credit cards and never put above 30%. So if you have a $1,000 balance, you put no more than $300 on it, and you use 3 credit cards. And now you have 3 credit cards reporting to the agencies. Type 1 if this is helping anybody out here. I don't want to be talking to the wall. You have 3 credit cards reporting to the agencies, and since you're putting less than 30% of the available balance, you're seen as someone that is not greedy or needy. And what happens is all of a sudden they think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you're just killing it with your credit score. There are things that cost no money that could help you right now. But here's the thing. The truth is, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face and offer it out for free. But I've learned one thing from very successful people. It's got to hurt a little bit. You've got to actually put a little skin in the game or you ain't going to listen. So if you want, I'm going to do an end of the year sale based off of Randy's comment of the Credit Score Pro and the Dominate Debt course. I think together they're $49. There's a link down below. I think you need to set a incredible goal in the next 30 days of fixing your credit score. And I'm not joking, within 30 days, you'll see incredible results and getting out of debt. Because what's coming in 2025 is, in my opinion, the greatest opportunity ever. I hope you take advantage of it. But you need to be out of debt and you need to get your credit score fixed. That being said, the Economic Ninja is out.